Happy birthday. Born on the 31st of July is going to be a very exciting, but you'll have many ups and downs in your lives. And that's because the makeup of people born on the 31st of July is impulsiveness, hastiness, impatience. And due to that, you'll be a person who will tend to think very short term. And due to that, you will be out of sight, out of mind. Many will remember you as while you are with them, it's all exciting, and when you are away, you're all forgotten. So try to keep in touch with the people you know. That would be better for you, so that they can remember you. Yes, you are going to be very rebellious, and at the same time, you're going to be a person who will say and do things too readily and too quickly, making promises like that. Well, you don't want to do that, because if you do that, you will be known as a very impatient, hasty person. There are many good sides of you as well. Yes, you will reach for the stars, you will want to be famous, you will want to be well known, you will want to be popular, and all that you can become. Now, all I know is that you are born on the 31st of July. I don't know your date of birth, I don't know your time of birth, I have not looked at your palms. So I'm going at a rate where I have very little information. But I can see that you will have a middle-age crisis in your 30s. And a middle-age crisis can very much show a danger of relationships breaking down very badly during your 30s. Your age of 30s, from 30 to 39 or 40. And also you will tend to have a lot of difficulties in areas of finance, jobs, business. So you have to be careful that in your 30s, many of the planets are against each other and they'll show up with all these problems. You will be very ambitious, and you'll always be a person who will tend to think differently and act differently, and you will choose occupations of work or business which are going to be very different from others as well, because you are a different person from others, very much so. But these planets who make you different are not very stable, so you got to watch out. You cannot abandon being traditional altogether. Your desires for people, whether friendship, whether the romance, whether the marriage, whether the business compatibility, the sports compatibility, etc., will not be easy, because you are a different type of a breed of a person with planets who make you act very individually, and at the same time you'll be a person kind of a loner who doesn't care much for partnerships, especially long-term ones. That's no good. Because as you grow older, you are going to need support from people, whether in personal areas, business areas, health areas as well. The calendar year 2018, which you are in, and which everybody in the world is in, talks about your stability in the way we talk about foundation for you. And your foundation for 2018 is quite steady. So you'll get opportunities coming in 2018, whether the romance, whether in areas of job, business, in any way. But there are too many emotional planets situated in 2018 for you born on the 31st of July. So what happens is that you will be emotionally driven, you will be passionately driven, you'll want to do things that excite you in the area of love, romance, and even emotions at work. So what happens to your logic areas? It's all gone lost. So at the level of 40%, there's too much emotions. Now what about the other remaining 60%, the driving engine of your life? Well, I can't talk much about that because I don't know much more about your horoscope. I'll need to know your date of birth in the complete sense, that also the year of birth and the time of birth. And I should look at your palms as well, because your palms are represented by the 9 planets who control you in astrology. So when the palms are read together with your astrology, it becomes very, very important and very accurate. So that's the missing factor which I don't have. Well, I'm going to give you an indication, and let's pretend that you are certain of these ages which I'm going to give you. Let's pretend that you are the ages of 22 or 31 or 40 or 49 or 58 or 67 or 76. Well, if you are of these ages, I'll have to tell you, be very careful of everything you do, because there is a whole group of planets who wants to bring upsets to you in any area of your life, be it in the romance, the marriage, be it in the family, be it in the job, the business, the finances, and be it even in health or accidents. So you will be at risk if you are of these ages which I've mentioned. Now, the best way would be for you one day to have a 90-minute session with me, and in this 90 minutes I'll be able to talk to you at length about all the next 7 or 8 years waiting for you in all departments of your life, but I'll talk to you about that later. And so I'm going to give you another set of ages, and to give you an example how the opposite, which shows success, can happen as well. And if you happen to be the ages of 19 or 28 or 37 or 46 or 55 or 64 or 73 or even 82, then you'll be one very lucky person, one way or another, whether in the job, finances, business, whether in the romance, marriage, family, whether in health areas, and the opportunities coming for you will be good in all areas of your life, because the cluster of good planets will be slightly bigger than the cluster of bad planets. So when you have more good planets, you get a better percentage. And so if you are of these ages which I've just mentioned, which are going to be lucky for you, then your 2018 will be very supportive as well, and you will be able to do well. So that's an example for you. If you are not of these ages which I've given, the good or the bad, well, you'll just have to have this 90-minute session with me, and then I'll have your date of birth, your time of birth, and also I'll be able to look at your palms, and I'll face read you while I Skype with you, or whether it's on Facebook Messenger, and so, or whether it's on WhatsApp. We can do it that way. I charge USD 50 for this 90-minute session. Please don't forget that. Okay? Now, regarding your time of birth, what happens when I know your time of birth? Then I'm going to be able to build your second horoscope. So the first horoscope depends what your date of birth is, and your second horoscope depends on what your time of birth is. So we like to compare these two to see if they're agreeable with each other. And if they're agreeable, well, you're going to have a very good time in life. If they are not, you're going to have many, many ups and downs. So the time of birth is very important because it narrows the field down. So I hope that one day when you visit me, I'll be able to use your time of birth to help you. And what about your palms? Your palms are divided into 9 areas, and the 9 planets are given positions on your palms. And so palms have to be read with a horoscope. You cannot do astrology without palmistry. You should not do palmistry without astrology. They are all together. It's a huge, wonderful code of events there waiting to be read. And so I'll be able to read your palms, and I'll know your full date of birth, time of birth, and I'll be able to see your palms very clearly. You will email me your palms. They come out very sharp and clear for me to read that way. So reading the palms is very important because palms change. They are dynamic, meaning that they change. And in my experience, they change every 3 to 5 years quite dramatically. The horoscope cannot be read differently because your date of birth you are stuck with, your time of birth you are stuck with. But the palms change dramatically. So to see me once every 3 to 5 years is always a good idea. Now, this thing about a personal horoscope, which I'm talking about, which will cost you USD 50. And so we'll do it on Skype or Facebook, or we'll do it on WhatsApp. And in those 90 minutes, you'll have a lot of information about your next 8, 9, or 10 years. And I'll talk to you in all areas of your life, age by age, calendar year by calendar year. And that information given to you would help you in all situations in areas of your life. Well, you have a very interesting horoscope, and it's a horoscope of a very inventive person, But the tendency of everything you do is not traditionally based. But let me talk to you more about that when one day we do have a session of 90 minutes. Go to Skype, go to Facebook, send me an email, and I'll reply to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, happy birthday. I want to talk to you before I leave you a little bit about health. Now, your health situations, they do show ups and downs in health areas, and accidents are very possible with you as well, with the little information I have. So I don't want to talk too much about health. But the areas of appendicitis, trouble with the bladder, trouble with the bowels, and having too much uric acid, these are the little things I can already tell. So I can see, when I look at your palms, I'll realize that your health situations will have their ups and downs. Well, happy birthday again, and I look forward to hearing from you one day. Until then, have a good time. Bye.